Prysock went out with a AC sprain with his shoulder. Um, Braden Willis went out with a concussion. Jalen Graham got evaluated for a concussion but was good. They just checked, the spotter checked him, but he was all right. That's it.
Keon White out there, didn't really see much of him in camp, but just how did you think he came out today or sack?
It seemed like he did pretty good. I didn't want to play him too long, but he's been so behind, just getting a late start to camp. I remember taking him out of series before, and he said, "Coach, I'm a little rusty. Let me just get a little more time in." And he got one more drive in and got a sack. And it's a very fine line. You want to get guys all the work, but you don't want to get them hurt. So I was pretty successful with that today.
I know you haven't watched the film yet, but is Trevor Wilson making a push to be the starting left guard?
I think he is making a push. I mean, we still haven't decided yet. I really want to see how he did in the whole half of play he got today. But we've been putting a lot into practice too, and we'll have to make that decision most likely. I don't want to say by Monday. I don't know if we'll say it then with our opening game, but I think we'll have a good idea by then as coaches.
What did you see with Jordan James tonight?
It was good to see him out there. He missed a ton of camp too with his injury, and it had the same thing last year where he missed all training camp. So he only got to play in that one game for us, and got a couple carries for Seattle at the end of the year last year. So I was really excited to watch him tonight, and from what I saw out there live, I thought he ran real hard and ran real well.
Over that third back is on the depth chart, is it going to be difficult to get 10 carries? Like you mentioned last year, in game, only really having room for two as far as touches.
Yeah, most likely. I mean, we're not, there's got to be a big reason to do a three-man rotation. We don't just do that to do it, so most likely that'll be tough.
Jordan Watkins has kind of been behind a little bit as well with injuries. What did you see from him tonight?
I thought he played well. When he had a couple opportunities. I thought he missed one earlier on the first third down gave him a shot on the wide and go that it looked like he never found. So that one was disappointing. But I thought he bounced back good after that. Loved that big dig route he had. I think on the 2-minute drive, I think it was, got us in at least down there on a scoring drive. But from what I saw today, he had a good game.
What did you see from his attitude this year?
I think he's stepped it up. I mean, he's always had a good attitude, but it's how much more consistent, how much more can you attack each day. And I thought he really, you see how guys come back in year two, and I was real excited with how he came back all the way back to phase one, how he handled OTAs, and he's done the same here in training camp.
Were there questions, or have there been questions you've been sort of struggling or frustrated in trying to get answers to that tonight may have, that you've been able to see or solve?
Okay, what do you mean?
Just in terms of any part of it, you've been hoping to see something to come to fruition that finally got resolved?
Not totally. I mean, I hate when we have to make a real tough decision where we're kind of on the fence about something and you're trying to make your best educated guess how the future is going to go. I like when guys make it real obvious. When you have a position battle, when you go to the 53, who you want to use for the 16 on practice squad, and when you look at the big picture, is almost just as important as the 53. So the more football we get to play, the more easy they make those decisions. And I think guys did some stuff today to make that easier for us.
A lot of younger guys playing today. Anyone in particular that made an impression for you that are trying to earn a roster spot?
Yeah, there are a few guys. I don't like to sit in, I have no problem with praising people, but people in this league get paid a lot of money to read everything we say and evaluate decisions over these next 3 days based off of practice squads and depth charts and stuff. So I got to be pretty careful with that.
What did you see from Jaden Duggar?
I thought it was good to get him out there playing all the way into the third quarter. He's got a lot of playing time this training camp. He's a guy who, as a rookie, has got an opportunity to be out there a bunch this year. And where he's benefited is he didn't have any setbacks with injuries. So he's got a lot of playing time, which has given him a chance to hopefully be ready going into the season. I'm excited to watch the tape. I thought he had some ups and downs throughout the game, and that's why I kept him in there a little bit longer, but I thought he finished pretty strong.
What's the status of Garrett Waller? Just a night off? Or
Yeah, just a night off. He was having some back spasms during the week, and he's had a hell of a camp so far, and didn't want to push him too much with what he's been going through.
Are any of your injuries stuff that's like going to affect week one outside of, when you look at the overall roster, Ricky's essentially the only main guy that you lost?
Yeah, I mean, you hope so. I mean, those are things that, we got to evaluate sooner than later. I mean, there's just guys that are going to be close, guys like Michael. I mean, guys like Kittle who's taking a step back. Want to see how Bosa does in these practices and stuff. So there are guys who are healthy and doing good, but are they ready to get back and play right away? And that's why, we have these mandatory 3 days off right now. But when we get back, we have those 2.5 days before we get on the plane. In those 2.5 days, we'll see our practice schedule. We'll at least get 2 big ones in, maybe a possible third. But I'm really curious to how it goes those 3 days before we go down there.
You've always had confidence in Eddie Camaro, but to see him go out there the way he did tonight, does that just make you more comfortable when you have to throw him out there
Yeah, it was good. He redeemed himself. I've never been more mad at him than when he chose to defer to the second half. And I guess it's definitely my fault. I forgot to tell him that we received in the preseason, but I thought that was understood. I asked him what the hell he was doing. He said he wanted to kick off, and then he kicked a touchback. So I was kind of pissed at him at the beginning, but he redeemed himself.
Turning page to week 1 now in Australia. What's the mindset and what are you looking forward to the most?
I mean, I'm looking forward to figuring out exactly our final team here over these next 3 days. We got a lot of tough decisions. They're not easy ones. I want to see how the practice squad pans out and really what our opening day roster is going to be. And then I just like when the season starts. I mean, preseason gets a little bit old, and I like when it gets real, and it's going to get real, real fast.
We'll be facing the Rams down there as well, divisional rival. What are the preparations going to that?
Same as always. I mean, I wish we played them here for what we usually look at as a home game, but we'll see how it is in Australia. So we'll play the Rams wherever. Going there, it is what it is, but it's going to be a fun atmosphere. And always when we play the Rams, it's a big, tough game. So looking forward to it.
Do you and John have any communication on the sideline in a game like this where maybe you're evaluating the same time?
A little bit. I mean, when I'm not calling plays and it's a little more relaxing down there, I'm a little easier to talk to. So it was good to have him down there, bounce some things off of him and him and vice versa. But it's not usually like that in the season.
What do you think from Alfred Collins this past month?
It was just good to get him back. He had a real late start, which is not his fault. He had some big surgeries to get over this offseason, so he's got a late as start as anyone. And that's why I thought it was real important for him to play. He went there, I think, 2 drives into the third quarter, which is more than what we usually do for him. But he's a little bit behind, which, again, wasn't his fault. But I think today and getting these 3 days off to recover, having those 2.5 practices before we go to Australia, I think he'll be ready by week 1.
You guys have it?
All right, thanks, guys.
So-